with the politics on terror. Why did DG speak out of turn in J&K?
Karthikeya, I know Rashmi Ranjan Swain for last many years, and I would tend to agree with him. You can't speak out against terrorism in the Kashmir Valley if you don't attack the ecosystem of terrorism that has survived all these years. The same ecosystem that has tried to give money and tried to incentivize terrorism and radicalization, and also infest the minds of the youth in the Kashmir Valley against India, against democratic secular India. And after 370, I think the same politicians who said that Indian flag cannot be unfurled in the valley until we are here, and if 370 is removed, there will be killings, there will be mayhem, there will be death on the streets. And to the contrary, the facts, the figures clearly say that in the Kashmir Valley I'm speaking about, terrorism has declined. The attacks have declined, radicalization has declined, and infiltration has declined. But, however, terrorism has increased in the Jammu Valley, especially in the last 3 years. And Karthikeya, I'll go out of the way. Apart from the politics, I would say today that the ceasefire that took place, the ceasefire that was agreed upon between India and Pakistan in 2021, it's been exactly 3 years and 5 months now, has been a disaster.
Okay.
Has been a complete disaster because we wanted common people, villagers of Kashmir on both sides to be happy, to be prosperous, to be peaceful. But unfortunately, Pakistan has used this to their advantage, and we are continuing to not retaliate, to not give them a lesson, and unfortunately our jawans are dying.
We'll come to this part of the debate because the whole structure is divided into three parts. One, why the attack is taking place. Second, is ceasefire becoming a liability? And third, the politics of the attack. But going to you, Ajit, is it surprising if this fight would have come from a political actor, it would have been perfectly okay? Coming from the DG of a state who is a bureaucrat, it creates a different connotation.
Well, Karthikeya, let me first point out that I'm extremely disturbed and distressed by, the martyrdom of our jawans. I mean, we just heard the figures, close to 48 to 50 of them have been killed recently. This is really shocking. And given the fact that we just saw, Jammu Kashmir elections where there was a massive turnout, right? So this turns out to be the biggest puzzle to me, what is going on. Yes, if you ask me frankly, although DGP Swain was earlier apparently, and correct me if I'm wrong, he was earlier with CID, right? He was the head of CID, and he's quite knowledgeable about the entire sort of operations, as our previous speaker also pointed out. But why did he have to openly criticize the local political parties? After all, half the Hurriyat leaders are dead, half of them are in jails. So obviously the blame is coming on people like Mehbooba Mufti, or let's say whatever the other leaders. I mean, he didn't name anyone, but he used the word mainstream. He didn't have to, because that is not his brief. So that is something he shouldn't have done. It has created an unnecessary controversy between political leaders of the state. After all, Mehbooba Mufti was the chief minister of the state in alliance with the BJP. So, this kind of thing would have been better if he had avoided and stuck to this big question. Why is terrorism increasing in Jammu? From in the last, the figures that you people pointed out, almost 11 attacks in 78 days. I mean, since the Modi government has sworn in, this is the 4th attack, and in Jammu itself. So why this increase in Jammu? Is it because of the fact that the entire focus of the army as well as the police is on Kashmir, because of the Amarnath Yatra, because of the rise of tourism in Kashmir, and they have almost forgotten Jammu? Or is it something else? How come in Jammu these guys are hiding? Numbers have been thrown out by the DGP himself and others.